Hello, everybody. Hello, beloveds. Just doing a little check-in here. Wanted to see how everybody was doing. Today is the 12/12 portal, and there's a full moon as well, which was last night. And there's just a lot of potent energy right now, and just wanted to do a little check-in. There's a lot of transformation that's coming up right now, and an opportunity to go into these higher timelines, these higher paths. The light language that I posted yesterday and the extended session really goes into the portal, the timeline portal that's available now. And it's really showing us kind of the end point after we accept going into this higher resonance portal that is available right now. It's a lot easier to kind of step out of these denser energies, and or there's an acceleration to just kind of purge or let go or accept or shine light on these deeper shadowed aspects. And as soon as we do this, there's like an instant reward that comes in of the light shining in and knowing that we're going to a new place now. Things are going to a better place where, all the things that have been happening, they can stop now. We've done all the clearing and the purging, and we can accept that we're coming into this new space now, and the gifts and the blessings that come with this. And it really is a choice. And I know a lot of people are either embracing this or already experiencing this. And me, myself, I'm having these experiences where all of a sudden there's all this joy and laughter. And I think I even captured some of it on the full moon transmission that I did last night. And there's just this joy that is there. And so sometimes you're just laughing or really happy because it's like it's there and you can step into it now. It's easier. There's more available to jump into that now. And it's really nice. It's really refreshing. The only thing is that you may feel more of the polarity, the duality. As you can jump into it more, then there is also the heaviness of things that maybe still need to come into the light, right? But the more that polarity is there, the more that you become aware that you can have a choice, and it's a state of mind, and it's an opportunity for you to practice with it, right? So the more malleable the energy is to go into either the higher vibration or the heavier, denser vibrations, then it's kind of like, would be a good example. It's when it's more immediate and more extreme, you can see it more. So there's like an instant reward, right? Kind of like when you're training an animal or a dog, right? As soon as they get that treat, they're like, oh, I did a good thing. I'm going to do that again, right? And so we're just kind of getting these instant rewards of joy right now. And it's a little bit confusing in the sense that the way all the energy has shifted, it's feeling a little bit uncertain, right? So it's like you're going along and you're like, well, this is so new how all of this is. I'm not really sure how this works. And so there's kind of an experimental phase going on. And it can seem a little disorienting or confusing because you're not really sure where things are going. And this is kind of what we're stepping into more of. When you go into that higher resonance, then different doors open, right? And when you go into the lower resonance, then you're going to follow where those doors go. And so it's like, well, which way do you want to choose, right? It's really an option for you in terms of what energy you want to dial into, all right? And there's just a lot of testing going on, right? So it's like you're in the school And now you're in the examination period. Have you learned everything? Are you ready to put to the test everything that you've learned, right? Yeah, it's fun, and then maybe not so fun. So I'm just going to see here if we can do any questions. I know this is totally last minute, and a lot of people didn't know, and you're going to message, oh, I knew you when you were going to go live. But when I try to schedule these live events, then for some reason YouTube kind of puts me on and then kicks me off. So I thought I'd try to just do a post that I was going to do it in the community section of YouTube and on Instagram to let you know that I was going to jump on here and see how many of you could join in. So here we are. And yeah, if you're still, and there's some of us that are still new to this that may find this video, and if you are new to all of this, it's an intense learning curve right now to be stepping into this ascension energy, this whole transformational process that's going on right now. And it's really a time to dial in and use your tools that you have to dial in. So for me, that's Akashic Enlightenment. That's what I am teaching you, right? It's a gateway prayer to open up your own Akashic records and the Book of Truth, and to learn to follow that higher guidance. When you receive and follow that higher guidance, you're also, you're shifting your energy, right? So when I say you have a choice to go into this higher energy, that's the way to do it. Okay, it's a practice, right? It's kind of like you're a monk in your everyday life, right? This is where we're at now. It takes a lot of practice to be able to be present with the energies and be present with the options that are available right now. All right. So we're just going to do a little check-in on this 1212 portal here, and just see what we have available to us today in terms of the portal, if there's anything else that wants to come through. Yeah, there's just really a call to be present. All right. So when things are moving quickly and when there's a lot of options and a lot of things shifting around, it's really a time to be as present as you can. And by present, that means going slowly. Going slowly when there's a lot going on, right? And focusing solely on what is going on in that moment, so that you can extend love and kindness and be present with what is going on in front of you at that time, so that you can take that choice to go into those higher timelines, right? And that's how you're going to change your life, right? And it really is in that, the still point or the 0 point, where we are being present and then taking an action after that. Okay. And, this can be hard when we are emotionally charged or there are difficult things going on, right? And this is where a practice like using Akashic Enlightenment, where it puts you into this other energy frequency, or you can listen to the light language, right? That's a frequency that's coming in at a higher vibration to help put you into that higher vibration, so that you can feel what it feels like to be in another frequency, right? Whether you are understanding it or whether you're conscious or not of the energy shift when you're listening to the light language or when you're in Akashic Enlightenment yourself, that's not as important as to know that it is happening, right? It is happening. And everybody's kind of at their different place, their different frequencies. So the light language is going to resonate with everybody differently, but it's helping. It is helping bring you back to that stillness, that center point, that true being that you really are in your light body self, your true self. And I just want to also mention, I guess it is still on the same topic, but there is a beautiful movie out right now, and it's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the story about Mr. Rogers. And I never really realized, but he truly is, kind of an original light worker. Because in the movie and in some of his other stuff that's on YouTube, you can really get the sense of his presence, being present with people and helping children learn to be in this presence and this love, and to understand that that is the point where we can make a difference. So we're doing all of this in a different way. There's lots of different tools and options to do that. And we're using light language and Akashic Enlightenment, or maybe Shamanic journey, in order to be able to go into that presence and that focused point. So I don't know how people are doing out there with all of their challenges right now, but I hope you're doing well. And if nobody comes online right now and has any questions, then we'll probably just close out the session. And maybe you can post your questions below and we can do another chat at a later time. But I hope that you're enjoying the 12/12 portal and the full moon and the full moon light language, and that you're really doing what you can to stay on your path and to be the best light that you can right now, as everything is shifting, getting ready for this powerful, powerful eclipse that's coming on the 25th. And then there's solstice on the 21st. So both of these are going to be, more portals and more options or optional energy to do a lot of shifting into this new path, this new light that is presenting. So those are also good times to go within and go deep and to check in with yourself. So, maybe you'll come online again during that time and we'll see what's going on. And if you feel like you're needing a personal session, then you can contact me. I know it's a little bit of a bumpy time. Let's see. And now it looks like some people are popping on with some questions. Oh, hey, Brandon. So just looking at the chat here. Is there a different method to manifesting right now? Well, I think that's what we were just talking about pretty much. And it's overall, it's all different, right? So when you're choosing that higher path, it's faster, I guess you could say. So what I was saying before, and the difference between where there's the polarity is stronger and quicker, where you see the dark or dense energy, and then you feel or think, oh, I have an option to go another route, right? Or you can quickly go into your feelings, address the feelings, and then after you go through the feeling state, then you can be more present, right? So as the time accelerates, that process accelerates, right? And so within that, then you're going to be manifesting where you are now aligned. Okay, so I'll slow that down a little bit of, let's use an example. Let's say you have a disagreement with somebody and it brings up something within you, right? Those are your feelings. If you can address those feelings, whether it's pain, sadness, hurt, excitement, whatever it is, just look at the feelings that are coming up. And then after you look at the feelings, when you're conscious and aware of them and can be in touch with them, then from that point on, you can be more aligned in who you really are in order to manifest what comes after that. So if you're not being present with what's coming up, then you could be reacting, if that makes sense, right? And so you're not really in an aligned state. You're following a pattern. And this is what we do the Akashic clearings for, right? Akashic record readings, so that we can step outside of the pattern, so that we can be functioning and operating from a place that is more aligned, right? And so I wouldn't say so much that a method to manifesting is really changing, but that everything is accelerating, getting more extreme, getting quicker, so that you can see where you need to make adjustments, where you have options to go to a higher timeline, right? So the quicker the realization, the quicker the reward is almost where we're at right now. And, you know, there's some astrologers saying that it's a really intense time right now, astrologically. So it's, we're kind of under the pressure cooker right now. And so it's a bit of a intense situation. Okay, so I hope that's answering your question, Shauna, on the manifestation. Yeah. So, you know, Shauna's saying she's like a bit concerned of what's to come. And that's kind of, they talk about that in I think the extended light language transmission, in that it's hard to see where you're fully going, but there is like the doorway is there for the higher path right now. And where it ultimately is going to take you, you don't really know yet. And so you're being tested in the sense of, in every moment, can you choose that higher timeline, right? You've learned all these lessons, and you may get challenged in a moment of something that happened in the last couple of years, or in the last whole astrological phase that we've been through. And now comes a time of, did you remember what you did then? Have you learned otherwise? And what are you going to choose now? Right? And then you can just go up those stairs into that higher timeline. But again, in the extended light language session on the full moon video, we go through a process of going to, if you go on that higher timeline and you enter into that channel of that higher golden timeline, we go to the very end of that and align you with that ending, right? And you may not know what's going to happen all in between. You just know how you're going to feel at the end of it. And you're going to allow the universe then to bring it to you in these little sequential pieces that ultimately brings you to your greatest joy, your greatest and highest outcome, right? And so we're trusting the divine to put us into alignment of that highest outcome, and then trusting in every moment to be guided along the way to get there. Such a new way of being. Yes, I've been told it is the way of 5D, fifth dimensional consciousness and above, right? So we're all, you know, once you get into 5D, there's different, you can go into 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, you can go up the ladder. But once you're out of that egoic, and once you're out of, 4D is a little bit of like that transitionary phase. And then 5D is kind of like, whoa, everything is different here. So yeah, it is. It's different. Congratulations. Now you get to kind of figure out how to function in the new energy, right? And that's what we're doing. So let's see this other question here from Brandon. What is this Gemini full moon bringing to the surface within people at this time? Curious of the 12/12 portal date. Today is 12/12. What it's bringing. I see what you mean. Okay. Well, you know, they're kind of hard to separate because they're overlapping so much. But what I'd say is that the full moon is, it's like a peak energy, and the peaking energy allows things to just kind of get expanded really large, right? And the 12/12 portal is really allowing all that light to come in, right? And so are you going to magnify all the light, or are you going to magnify all the dark, right? And like I said before, it's going to kind of do both, right? So that the darker stuff can just quickly go, and the light then can just jump into that space, right? So it's being revealed as we're going into this new chapter, right? It's really going to be exciting next year, okay? And so if you're doing the work, and you've been doing the work, and you're up for doing the work in terms of being present and having some sort of practice where you are checking in and not falling into the ego path or reaction or old patterns that aren't really who you are, and creating a life from that fear-based place, then this is how you're stepping into the 5D, and you're stepping into leading a life that has more light, right? There's always that joy path there. And so the joy path is, or the golden path, as I like to call it, is really being expanded with the full moon plus the 12-12. So it's kind of like the, hey, do you get it? Warning light right now, or opportunity, right? It's kind of like everything's getting really loud and big. Okay, do you get it now? Do you see it? Do you understand? And then we're going to go into the solstice on the 21st, and then there is that big eclipse on the 25th. And the 25th eclipse, what I've been told astrologically, is that that's going to be kind of the obvious point, right? So eclipses tend to then go, okay, we showed you this, we showed you that, right? So whatever's being shown now, we showed you this, we showed you that, you kind of work it out, and then by the time we get to the eclipse, it's going to go, okay, which way? Is it coming with you, or is it coming out of your life path, right? Is it part of this higher path or not, right? And so we're just in that kind of accelerated period. And so there's also an eclipse beginning of January 10th, I think it is. So we're being prepped for that. And those eclipses then are going to open up this whole path fully, right? So right now we're just getting pushed to kind of deal with everything. And everyone's like, oh my God, where am I going? What am I doing, right? What job am I doing? What's happening in my relationship? What's happening with my career, my money, my family? I don't know, right? And so it's examination time. You have to look at it. Where are the high points, and where are the low points that need to be kind of have the light shine on them and modified so that they can come onto this higher timeline, right? And so that's what's going on, Brandon. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, a lot of reactions. Yeah, there are a lot of reactions to the energy, because a lot of people that aren't really aware of what's going on, they're just going to be kind of jerked around. So it's going to be very bipolar for them, where it's kind of on or off, right? And this is when the polarity and the loudness increases, that's when you need to take a minute and check in more, right? Or if you're seeing people that are kind of in that extreme, right, you can even take a minute to check in and just observe maybe what they're going through, and what are you learning through watching that, and not really getting swept into that, right? Okay, so just looking at the questions again here. Oh, you're very welcome, Brandon. Okay, great. All right. So, yeah, everybody just kind of hang in there with everything, and keep choosing the high road, for lack of a better description, right? Clear yourself of any of the energies that are feeling really dense. Don't ignore them. Let them come up. What is it telling you? Right? If you can really get into those deeper feelings right now, man, it's a ripe time to just pull them out, right? Through expressing them or feeling them yourself, whether that's journaling, crying, however you deal with things that seem kind of upsetting, maybe things you've been ignoring for a long time, right? Because then when you do the release, then you'll feel the peace, and then there'll be more clarity of where you're going, because you're not going from that point of being really tense. So yes, please go ahead and check in and dial in. I'm not really feeling any more light language coming in. We did a lot of light language yesterday. So on the full moon transmission, if you want the light language, it's all there in the shorter video that's on YouTube, and then in the description, the longer extended version of that with the full healing session. So I hope you're doing well. I think I'll wrap up this unless anybody has any more questions. Thank you, Brandon and Shauna, for your questions. And people can also comment below after video is already posted. with your questions, and I can try to answer them then, or other people can answer them as well. So I send you lots of love and light, many blessings on your path, and hang in there. It's fun. It's an adventure right now. We're pretty lucky to be alive or here at this time, right? So enjoy the ride as much as you can. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of energy today for sure. So enjoy it. And I will see all you lovely people next time, or if you contact me for a session. All right? Okay. So, okay. Much love, many blessings. Have a wonderful evening, and I will connect with you another time. Thank you.